Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win. Caught. It's gone. LSU does it.
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker hard.
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds, just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling you.
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show.
And you
Come have a
started
good time.
tearing up, answering the question. And I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Big start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time.
Hurry, we're late.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, the Jordy Culotta Show.
Good morning and welcome in. A little behind this morning.
Not as behind as I was yesterday.
No, yeah. I don't know if I'll ever
It's a
feel-
time change.
Yeah, it kicked you. Shook you up, even though you were on time on Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
But that's neither here nor there.
No, it's in the past.
It is. It happened.
You start every day 0-0. Which you
Amen.
should take to the team tonight.
Yes. Obviously, if you don't know, today will be a little short. Be about 45 minutes this morning. I guess 35 minutes from here. We're going to get out about 7:45. I've got to head back to the Central High School, get on the bus, and head over to Lake Charles. as we have our state semifinal game tonight against Denham Springs. So we're just going to get in here. We're going to talk a little LSU football as they had media availability at practice yesterday. LSU men's basketball put on quite the show yesterday, if you didn't see.
How many points did they score?
I don't remember what the score was, but they lost by 29, I believe, if I'm not incorrect. Let me pull the score up. I turned the game
I don't
off.
blame you for not knowing. I was doing Mic'd Up last night, and Mikey was watching it, and they somehow cuckolded me in the corner to where I can't see the TV. And I was like, well, this is
91-62.
62. There you are.
Yep. There was a point where they cut the game to, because I watched the first half, they were down by 20 at half, 44-24, which was not a good sign because usually LSU's relatively in the game after the first half. They were able to stick around. Well, they cut back into it. They go on a run, a 16-7 run, and I think they cut it to 11. It was 40-51. And then from that point on, they went on a, check my math. If it was 40-51.
That's 11.
And the final score was 91-62. That's a 40-22 run. Mississippi State goes on in the last 15 minutes of the game. And from what I believe, it was a 29-7 run at one point. After that point, so it was just a nasty performance yesterday,
Despicable.
And that'll be the end of it. That's the end of the season. Don't take your NIT bid.
No.
As much as I thought about it a couple weeks ago and kind of wanted it, go play against some non-conference opponents, get some wins, get in a better situation, get to the offseason as fast as you can to get a head start. Start reaching out to people hitting the portal. Start getting money put together. Start figuring out how you're going to attack next year because you have to get it right. If you're Matt McMahon, next season is as big as it gets in this offseason where it gets started. But speaking of offseason, LSU football
probably as, I don't want to use the word embarrassing, but maybe embarrassing as the last year of, was it Johnny Jones and Ben Simmons? When they played Tennessee in the SEC tournament, I think they won a couple of games, and they got to the semis, I believe, and it was close, and they scored 30 points.
Just nasty.
And you're like, oh, they're not. And they didn't take an NIT bid.
Right.
And that's kind of, I don't want to say it feels as bad as that, but right now it does.
It feels bad, and it feels bad because there was actually momentum ahead of the season and during the non-conference. When you think about where year one was with McMahon, it was pretty rough. Season 2, you saw improvement. You saw a step in the right direction. You saw, conference wins. They were competitive. They got an NIT bid. They went, even though they lost. You saw steps in the right direction. And then this season, it was just right back to square one, really. And so it's hard to even talk about.
Imagine him going to the podium.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It was a rough one yesterday. So we're going to forget that. Barker Brothers segment, 225-776-2431. Flush it. Look ahead to next season for LSU men's basketball. Big offseason ahead. LSU football yesterday, media availability for spring practice. It was the first time they got out there. We sent Christian out there. He's supposed to be here right now to recap it, talk about what he saw, if he was actually paying attention or not. If you didn't see yesterday, we did put out about a 9-minute video with clips from practice. You get a look at, Kyle Williams out there with the D-line group. He walked out to practice with Blake Baker. You got to see all three quarterbacks, number 13, Garrett Nussmeier, number 11, Michael Van Buren, and number 8, Mr. Jawan Johnson. You saw some of the wide receivers. Nick Anderson is first-team all-uniform. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures of him.
I'm pulling.
He is
Don't put the camera on me.
Yes, first team all uniform, impressive. You got to see some of the defensive line guys, some of these freshmen, the younger guys, the offensive line, and all the depth. But yes, as Nick says in the chat, that Gordon hat looks clean today. It is. Shout out to our guy Hunter Hall, reached out and got them to set another one aside for us. So just so you can get a real look at how nasty it is, that Christian's not just being dramatic. This one is shining and glistening.
How did the rope turn a different color?
I mean, look at the interior of that hat compared to this one, where it started. So, out with the old.
Well, you're going to put it in the rafters. We decided that we might have a ceremony for it.
Rest in peace. But got the new hat, 888-8888. GetGordon.com. Get Gordon, get it done.
And shout out Hunter Hall. How many people have a birthday and decide to give gifts instead of receive them? So thank you, Hunter.
Yes.
Enjoy basketball season.
A nice man. Yes, enjoy
coming
your
for your ass in
team's
football.
run in March. But as you heard Brian Kelly say, I put out a little clip yesterday of him talking about the competition they have and that's the one word that they've used the most. And it's a fitting word because of the depth that's on this roster. I mean, this is as deep as it's been for Brian Kelly at LSU when it comes to players on the field. Talking about the first unit, the first team offense took the field for some dry reps yesterday. Like Brian Kelly said, don't look too far into it. To me, the thing that gave it away to not look too far into it was that it was really all returning guys. And so it seemed like that was just kind of the start of spring, ushering it in. Now you'll see the cream rise to the top as time goes on. The first team offensive line from left to right, Tyree Adams, Paul Mabenga, DJ Chester, Bo Bordelon, Weston Davis. Then the skill players were Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Xavion Thomas, with Tradez Green at tight end, Nussmeier at quarterback, and Caden Durham at running back. So, obviously, the first unit is all returning guys. It's a group solely built of guys that were on the roster last season. To me, that's not going to be the first group against Clemson in August. It's going to be – these transfers are going to move in. Obviously, you see Chester at center. He's going to shift over. Braylon Moore will be your center day one. And then, obviously, the second team followed with Michael Van Buren at quarterback and Caleb Jackson at tailback. Speaking of first-team all-uniform, since day one, Caleb Jackson, first team getting off the bus. And then the offensive line with group number 2 from left to right, Carius Kern, Solomon Thomas, Braylon Moore, Cohen Eccles, and Ethan Callaway. Bauer Sharp was at tight end. The wide receivers were Destin Hill, Berrien Brown, and Kyle Parker, who was still in his red no-contact jersey. Nick Anderson was not in a red no-contact jersey, but he didn't join that group for a drill. He had that injury last year, so he's coming back off of it. So good to see LSU back on the practice field yesterday. Just getting back in the groove of it. Like Kirsten sent me one clip of just kind of the team running out onto the field, and it just it got me all fired up. Just feeling like football was back somewhat. So I think Christian just walked in. We're gonna get him. We're gonna put him on the spot. We're gonna get him to break down what he saw yesterday. But it was good to see them back out on the field. Some of the clips, I think Jacques put it out on Twitter. There was a clip of Kyle Williams coaching up the defensive tackle room, and I absolutely loved it.
Yep.
It was some of the best content that came out from practice yesterday was this clip Jacques posted where you can see Kyle Williams just really being in it physically, vocally.
Yeah, Twitter works.
It works? Love it.
Defensive line. Kyle Williams, standout
awesome.
D lineman himself with
the
Tigers, and then 13 years
in
the NFL.
One of the freshmen. Let me see. I think it was Brandon Brown. But love it. The intensity, the energy. I think him, Blake Baker, Coach Peoples, they're going to get along very well.
Well, you saw even the clip of them walking out together where you're like,
Yes.
okay, kind of a little bit of, I don't want to overstate it as a changing of the guard, but it felt like the Young Bucks are here.
Yes. 94 Zion Williams, freshman. But yeah, no, it definitely felt like an energy, a new energy. 96, obviously that's Don McKinley. 99, Sadir Mitchell. 98 is Dylan Battle, another freshman.
He's getting in that ass too.
Yeah.
First day.
I love it. That to me, that's the best way to handle it. Just go straight at it. Don't come in and be quiet and laid back and kind of try to adjust. Like
you're gonna have to adjust to me.
Yeah, make them feel you. And
I don't think he knows any other way to be. Like the more that like we kind of laughed, I guess, at the idea of this being the hire,
right?
Because you were like, obviously it's a pipe dream in some places where you're like, yeah, sure, go get a former LSU player that played 12 years in the league to come coach. But if you want to spin it a different way, you're wearing sweatpants and a collared shirt.
It's about this.
And slippers.
Nice.
I threw the only row back on I had.
It is a great shirt. I played golf in it yesterday, and it was great.
I made the effort to wear the row back, and then
I appreciate it.
I left my khakis at home, so I need to get
Oh, you left them at old girl's house?
I appreciate that.
No, I left them at my mom's house, another girl's house.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah.
How was practice yesterday?
It was good. First time out there, it was a little weird being on the balcony for the first time, so we weren't in our normal spot on the sideline. But I have some notes.
Oh, really? You took notes?
Came to class prepared.
Well, it was hard to take notes because I had to, the video. Was more
doing a lot.
right?
Hey, Christian, we were giving you your flowers before you got here.
Yes, we
very proud of
appreciate
you.
your hard work yesterday. Because so I had to start the show by myself yesterday because Lloyd was late.
Oh,
right. I saw that. Someone came up to me and they're like, "Yeah, Noah's by himself today." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Somebody at practice?
Yes.
That's hilarious. But so I started the show and I said,
"Thank you for watching."
That we didn't have production here, and the first person, somebody in the chat, the first thing they said is Christian. I was like, Christian is at LSU football practice.
Y'all have trained the chat too well.
We've trained them very well. But let's hear those. Let's hear those notes.
Have y'all hit the starting players on?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that was most of the notes. I will say this: Jawan Johnson plays quarterback. I like it obviously, because you need that third quarterback in the room right now because Colin Hurley's still out. I should have asked BK about that. Have we had an update on that? I should have asked him about that.
Yeah, you should. That should have been your first question.
Yeah, they were like,
"Have you been to the hospital,
BK?" That was
BK?
the second thing the chat said was, "Wait, you're letting Christian ask questions?"
Don't ask anything.
I asked Harold Perkins last year what songs he was looking to hear on the new speakers last year.
There you go.
He said "Young Boy." So, anyway, Jawan Johnson has a little hitch in his throw. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah, I watched him.
Yeah, he's got a little hitch in his throw. I also thought the offensive line. This I don't think was talked about anybody in the media yesterday, but the offensive line during the non-contact drills was yelling at each other. I mean, they were bringing the energy as much as the defensive line was. Brad Davis wasn't yelling at his offensive guys, but the offensive line definitely had it out for practice that day. And Malachi Lane, the freshman running back, he's listed at 6'1", 212, and you can see it. He looks bigger than Caleb Jackson. Caleb Jackson's listed at 6 foot 230. Malachi Lane, 6'1", 212. Malachi Lane's big, and he moves too. I thought whenever they did the one drill I saw, I thought he cut as well as anybody. Lloyd, if you want to pull it up, it's a running back drill.
A Jawan throw.
But I think he's number 30.
Number 30.
He's big. And I don't know, maybe he'll get some playing time this year. Who knows? I think Harlan Berry's a little light right now, so I think Malachi Lane's probably ahead of him in the depth chart.
That's a crazy take.
Malachi Lane is a senior at LSU from Spring Branch, Texas.
Is he a senior? Okay, well, he's fucking huge.
Nice.
Yeah.
The strength program works.
Yes.
He's big. Harlan Berry's a little small.
Yeah, we're hoping that strength program will work just as well.
Yeah, he's got a while, but I doubt we'll see anything crazy from him in the spring game. Again, he is small.
Right.
But I don't think that should discourage LSU fans because he's going to have a whole summer to get bigger and develop.
Yes, the weight program.
I think we should hear from maybe the head coach about what Harlan Berry might be doing with the program.
There we
go.
spoke
about it.
Well, it's too early to give a, hey, you're going to see a lot of Harlan. But I will say early indications are I'm pleased with some of the little things that you need to see from a running back. And that is, for example, we run a lot of inside run drill. And that requires, you've got to hit it up inside and you got to slog it away. And 3 or 4 yards is a good run. Harlem, a touchdown was a good run in high school for him. That was the bar, right? And so you don't know how these guys handle that, right? And it's a change of his mindset. He really clearly understands the running back position is one where sometimes a 3-yard run is a really good run. and we've seen that from him. Today, for example, he had a chance to maybe bounce a play where he really crammed it inside and took the 3 or 4 yards, and it was the right read. Those are, you really don't coach those things. You just have a knack for them or you don't. And so those early indications are really positive. He's got to keep building in the weight room. He's got to build a coat of armor. He's got to get stronger. But it's a nice thing to see when you don't have to coach every aspect of a particular player. And
yes, there he is. Brian Kelly talking about Harlem Berry. Yeah, I mean, Harlem Berry is going to be a major contributor.
Don't listen to Christian.
Don't listen to Christian. But he is, I mean, I do agree with what Christian's statement is, like the size factor. But he's going to spend the entire summer, the rest of the spring, the entire summer into fall camp, getting that right. I have a feeling that he will be a little bit larger than he is currently once LSU gets to fall camp and gets to Clemson in that Game 1 season opener. But it was good stuff at practice yesterday. Some of the content that came out, obviously not too much that you got to see, Christian. I mean, I don't think they really did anything in depth. No. Yeah, it's just kind of getting everybody in. You get to see all the new uniforms, you know, everybody in their new numbers and the whole deal. Obviously, those will probably change again come fall camp because that seems to happen every time. Did you get a roster? Did they hand out rosters?
I did. Someone took mine.
Oh, you got bullied. Christian, stand up for yourself. God damn it. You don't let them do this to you.
Well, if I had known who it was, if they had met me face-to-face and said, I want your roster sheet, I would have told them something, but I didn't know who took it.
What would you have said?
I would have been like, hey, give me my roster sheet back. And then hopefully they would have given it back. Otherwise, maybe. I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
They definitely saw you and were like, that's the one I'm
Or they just picked it up off the table where all the other ones were.
But yes, here's Harlem Berry right here.
Who's your boy?
30 right behind him. I mean, he
caught my eye.
He is quite large, but
I mean, I trust anybody that plays running back at LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Harlem Berry. Look at this first step. Look, the little rookie hazing. That's the way he cuts. Like that little right effortless. There. It's so good.
Yeah, he's gonna be special.
I'm telling you, when you see it, you see it. There's just nothing I can do about it.
He knows ball. Lloyd knows ball.
Mm-hmm. Wish he was wearing 5 or 25 because it would be hard to not think. It's already hard to not think of anybody but Reggie.
No, 100%.
God,
I wonder if he'll stick with 22 or if another number will come
7.
open. You can't. I mean, I guess you did it with Lenny.
Yeah.
But Perk's still gonna be in 7, is he not?
No, I'm talking about not now. I'm talking about
at one point.
Future.
Yes. Do you Perk stays in 7, right?
Yes. Did you see his new merch?
Yes.
Fire. Perk Nation is gonna sell off the charts.
Oh my gosh, is it?
Like for all the wrong reasons, but I want one.
Alyssa the Tigers not currently enrolled per LSU. Aiden Anding, obviously he's still at Ruston because he's playing basketball. Jacob Bradford is at Catholic. Catholic doesn't let you early enroll. Jaden Breaker, Brandon Brown, CJ Jim Colley, JT Lindsay, Walter Mathis Jr., Keelan Moses, Jace Thomas, Josh Thompson, who we talked about. He's still finishing his quarterly, his master's at Northwestern.
You talk about get your roster taken. He's going to get his lunch taken when he gets to the LSU.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, if the offensive line is already fighting with each other, like you need to get in the trenches,
yeah, you need to go ahead and get down here. And then Zach Weeks and Phillip Wright, the third, round out that group. One of the things that really stood out is I know we've talked about the offensive line and kind of, who will be in that first 5, the position battles, all these things. It really is such a deep room. Like just when you go down the list, that was just 10 names listed off. And to me, I mean, in my head, I'm still thinking of guys that weren't included in that 10. When you're talking about Adams, Mabanga, Chester, Borderline, Davis, Kern, Thomas, Moore, Eccles, Callaway. Obviously, you still have Thompson coming in. Ori Williams is a name of another guy that's still on the roster. You can just continue to go. It's such a deep room because of the job Brad Davis has done to recruit and to get guys out of the portal. But it's going to be interesting to see who kind of rises to the top and gets those starting 5 spots because there are so many. There's so much to go around. Not a lot to go around, but there's so many guys that have a chance.
Yeah, it's like right field for LSU. Baseball.
Yes.
But I do think Thompson must have been promised something to where he feels comfortable enough to work on his degree as opposed to coming to practice.
Right.
Like, I don't know why I'm harping on this, but it does feel like if you're going to be cemented as a starter, you should probably – I know that's only 3 practices in, but it'd be nice for you to be on the team that you're on.
Yes. Yeah. No, it would be nice for him to be here and actually working in with –
But clearly he's obviously – I guess very comfortable enough to be able to, like, hey, you're good, because you wouldn't have offered him in the portal and probably made some promises as to playing time.
There was definitely some promises because – remember, this was one that came out of left field, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, LSU was not expected to be the final destination for Thompson. Like, it seemed like Tennessee was the front runner, and that was going to happen. And then out of nowhere, boom, he signs with LSU, and out of the transfer portal. So he's going to get here and he's going to get his opportunity. But these other guys are getting a head start, and there is talent in that room. Obviously the promises were probably made, but there still is a lot of talent that's getting the opportunity to work right now. Let's see what some of the quotes from Brian Kelly. Do you have a clip of him talking about the offensive line?
I do indeed.
Awesome. Here's the head coach talking about his offensive line room.
Yeah, so, we lost them after the Oklahoma game is kind of how we looked at it. And then we went to work against Baylor with kind of developing a new group, and that's where you saw Paul start, and you saw Tyree Adams start. So we feel like it wasn't really 4 out of 5. It was like trying to find a couple of guys to fill in there, and I think Braylon's done a nice job early on. Karis Kern, Solomon, both of the freshmen have done a really nice job. I think they're, both of them are physically able. They've got to be able to take the next step in terms of learning, the offense. But they're going to be really good SEC players. The bar here is pretty high, right? Everybody's, thinking, do you have Will Campbell and Emory Jones? I'd like to say that we have those every year, but that's probably not the case. These are really good players that, in time, are going to help us. I think Weston Davis is doing a nice job. I think we're gonna rely on the guys that got a lot of work for us last year. DJ Chester's gotten a lot of work for us. We'll see where that all ends up. But I think there's enough, experience with young players that we're going to put together a really.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of competition in that room. I think that's one where the word competition is going to be thrown around quite often because there's only 5 spots to go around, and they've got a lot of bodies, a lot of talented guys in that room. And Brad Davis has his work cut out for him. This is a big season for Brad Davis. Obviously, he's done such a good job recruiting, but this is the first, these are guys he will have developed over time, and they're going to get, having Emory Jones and Will Campbell, you go out of the portal, you get a Miles Frazier. Garrett Dellinger had been here, and then before DJ Chester, Charles Turner was a guy that's, I think, a 5th year as well. So this is like a year of Bo Davis's guy, not Brad Davis's guys. Bo Davis is in New Orleans. Brad Davis's guys that he went out and recruited, he brought in here and has developed over time. They're going to get their opportunity to go. And I'm excited to see who that 5 is because they're filling some big shoes.
I think the biggest calling card for Brad Davis to this point is his recruiting.
Yes.
Like, the guys he's brought in have all been 4-star, 5-star. Like, you didn't have to question the talent. I felt like on the other side with Bo Davis, it was more recruiting, not development. It was like, get better players in here to LSU because he didn't really have time to do it because Brad Davis has had much more time. He's been here since BK's been here.
Yes.
Like, he's been here a minute.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach O made the hire, and he was the one that, I think he was the one that swung Emory Jones to, is that what yeah. Because I don't think he was really on the radar whenever it was, oh, God, what's his name?
James Craig.
Yeah.
Sued LSU.
loser.
Lord have mercy.
Nice picture with the Super Bowl trophy. But yeah, so you bring in Brad Davis, who immediately kind of, I think it was the day that Emory Jones was on campus. He kind of showed up at the same time, swings that recruiting as somebody that was in state, kind of in your backyard, and is able to get him to stay at LSU. But that recruiting has been his calling card, but I think he's come under fire recently because of the lack of run game last year.
Right.
I think it became a story of
some pressure.
Not who's like on the field, but the development of the talent on the field, because it's like he's a victim of his own success. Like, well, you have Will Campbell and Emory Jones. Like, who do you think got him here?
Right.
And so, yeah, I know they're good. And so it's more of like developing the interior part of the offensive line, but that's where Alex Atkins comes into play a lot too. Like, I'm excited to see that version of LSU football.
The dynamic.
Because you see, like, the kind of I don't know if college football is falling in the exact, like, lockstep with the NFL, where you start to see, like, more run game and, like, people attacking at too high coverage because, like, they're taking away the deep ball, which is what, like, if you were playing against Garrett Nussmeier, that's what I would do too. Like, don't let him beat you. And so then that's when it turns to you have to be able to run the football. And so if you're LSU, you start going, okay, we have Caleb Jackson, who, from all reports, is, like, lost weight, but still, I'll stand by it. I don't think he looked like fat last year.
I don't think that was the problem.
No, I don't think that was the problem. But him being lighter can only help.
Yes.
In this regard, because if that's what he struggled with like vision and lack of being able to tack inside and like make cuts, if you're lighter, you're probably going to be faster.
Yes.
But I think that's a part of it where LSU they don't want to have to throw it 55 times a game. Like we went through that 3-game stretch where LSU lost 3 in a row, and you looked at like 48 passes, 46 passes, 51 passes, and even in the South Carolina game where you got down and they were able to make a comeback, they had to throw it 50-plus times.
Right.
And you kind of fell into this, like, and it can happen when a quarterback's coach, and Kellen Moore's going to battle the same thing, when you're a quarterback's coach that becomes an offensive coordinator or a head coach, like, you lean on being able to throw the football because that's what you're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you saw that with Sloan a little bit, where he's like, I know what I have in this, but it came to a point where Nussmeier is like, if you make one mistake, this game's toast.
Yes.
And you could see him start to, like, you kind of took away what made him special, and that, like, kind of gunslinger mentality where it's like, I can fit the ball into anywhere. Then you start just taking a ton of sacks.
Yep. And
And then LSU was 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. It's like, well, now you're going to have to force it somewhere or punt it 35 yards.
Yeah.
And so I would like to see LSU establish some semblance of a run game, because you know what you have with Caden Durham, who you'd imagine is only going to get better. Caleb Jackson, I still think, is somebody that I'm not out on.
Not writing him
I'm
off.
not out. No, not at all. Like, the talent's too immense.
They tried to write me off, I ain't right back.
That's right.
Geno Smith. Raiders quarterback.
But then he always, like, pops up in the LSU videos. Like, he's doing something so, like, it's there.
Yes.
I just want to see it consistently. Like, I don't know if he's one of those guys that you'll look, like, in 2 to 3 years where you see him on the league for, like, the Commanders. You're like, damn. Like,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because he just didn't get the, like, he maybe, like, might be like a workhorse back where, like, give, like, Ali Broussard, where you gave him the ball 30 times. You're like, oh, he went for 212.
Well, see, that's, kind of what you're talking about. This is a dynamic that I'm interested in, which is why I wish I was out there actually at practice to watch. The dynamic between a Brad Davis and Alex Atkins and a Frank Wilson, because they all three kind of, intertwine and cross over and have to work together. I mean, the entire staff has to work together, but those three specifically, and then add in a Joe Sloan and a Cortez Hankton. But those three in this run game, job that they've been assigned to fix it and figure it out so that LSU can be successful, that is a kind of a chemistry and a meshing and energy that I would love to see. So, Christian, on Friday, keep your eyes peeled on the offensive line room, the running backs, the tight ends. How much is Alex Atkins around Brad Davis and his group, and what the dynamic looks like? I don't know how much they'll let you see on Friday. Also,
is there one Saturday?
I think it may be Friday and Saturday. I'll double check the schedule. But Matthew Conkle, Christian, he asks you, how did Pickett look? Has he put on any weight? Did you see Mr. Pickett out on the field?
Pickett looked the same as he did in that first video released a while back. You didn't see anything with Pickett. I mean, they were just kind of doing individual drills. I mean,
right.
Yeah, you didn't see anything. Saw him on field goal.
Okay.
Saw some field goal stuff. They showed us some field goal stuff for whatever reason.
Well, they wanted to flex their muscle a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we can do this.
Yeah.
I think Pickett might have been coming off the edge. I think there's a video. I can't remember.
Oh, he's 6'4".
Yeah, I mean, long.
You would think
rangy.
if he's got the speed, the quickness, he can come off the edge.
Yeah.
If they blocks one, that would. I mean, when's the last time LSU? Ricky Jean-Francois? Like, that was against Alabama.
I mean, there's no way that's the last one. If it is, that's unbelievable.
2008.
forever ago.
No, they blocked one more recent.
Ronnie Prude.
Go Tigers says
got taken back.
He's 6'4". He'd have to gain like 30 pounds for people to notice. I mean, I don't know if I want him to gain 30 pounds exactly, but he does need to bulk up a tad because he's
looking like Cordell Flott right now.
Very slender. But I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, he doesn't have like the frame to put on a ton of weight. Like he does, but I don't think that's his body style. Like,
not at all.
I'm not concerned about TJ Pickett and whatever he looks like. He'd be fine.
Yeah, no, he'll be just fine.
He'd be 110. I wouldn't worry about it.
That's talent that supersedes the size. So, good stuff from practice, Christian. Once again, thank you for your hard work yesterday, getting out there, taking care of business. Going into the press conference, was that your first time at a press conference, or you've been in there?
It was like third or fourth time.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Did you see your boys from the Reveille?
I don't know.
The guy that took your job.
No, I don't think they're out there. I don't think they're out there.
See,
they're not. Like
I think they're at the gymnastics meet, so they can stay.
Oh,
over
perverts!
There. Yeah,
right. Gross.
Yeah, Christian.
Cover it objectively.
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys this morning. I know it was a quick one, a quick show this morning because we got to get out of here. I got to get back to the Dirty Sea and go take care of business in Lake Charles tonight. Speaking of Lake Charles, McNeese wins the Southland again yesterday.
Yeah, it's real.
It was the way they set it up on TV was the worst because the McNeese game ends and it's like right on time to roll over into LSU in the SEC tournament. And it was just like, whatever.
This equipment manager's getting quite the run, huh?
Yeah. They got an NIL deal. Did you see?
Yeah.
Tick Pick.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Tick Pick is. Tick Pick.
Oh.
It's a ticket.
Tick Pick.
It's a ticket app.
Yeah. You use it to get your McNeese tickets in the Sweet 16.
Dude, look at my Tick Pick. Like, what a name.
It's crazy.
It's just
they definitely did it on purpose.
Yeah, 100%. Because of what we're doing right now. But appreciate you guys this morning. We're going to go to a break here. Probably close it out. Are y'all going to continue and roll on? Or
no.
I have class.
Yeah, he has class.
Christian's gotta leave.
And there's traffic like I've never seen before.
Really, it's bad?
Yes,
awesome.
On the way back.
It's because all you fucks are back.
So.
Oh, the college kids.
Yeah, you stupid college students.
Okay,
it's
we've
not
been
your
back
fault.
for 2 months.
Love your You're wearing that to class?
No. No.
No, what do you mean no?
I mean, the row back is a flex.
No, I'm talking about the pants.
Yeah,
the
I was
pants.
about to say.
I haven't washed these pants in like 2 months.
Oh, just God, you could probably break them over your
it.
knee.
Put that hat on. You earned that.
No.
Those pants and the hat are
Give
the
me
same
the new
thing.
hat I got
No,
yesterday.
This one's mine now. That's yours still.
Whatever.
But appreciate you guys more. Don't forget, row back.
Those
20%
things stand
off.
up on themselves when you take your pants off. It's like disgusting.
Filthy.
Ugh.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be back. We're trying to do a little video show tomorrow if I can get in from the Lake Chuck. But we'll definitely be
back. What do you set the over-under on tonight?
Oh,
of your game?
Noah's very confident. He had me go out and buy cigars last night.
I am confident.
Wait, you can't do this. You can't sports bet on your own team.
You can set a line.
I can set a line.
And you can. Look at
I would say
any NBA player ever in the NBA right now.
The over-under would probably be 125.5.
Oh, I want to know the spread.
The spread, I would say we're favored by
8.5, 4.5, 12.5, 13.
I would say 5 because they've played in this gym before. They played a tournament in this gym, in this arena, and we have not played here yet. So, be a good one. I'm excited for this weekend. Try to win a state championship. Hopefully, the next time you hear from me, whether it's tomorrow or Monday, it'll be good news. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all.
Oh, Tick Pick is great.
Tip of the cap. Tick Pick
shows the full amount of the ticket.
Whoa.
With the fees built in. So, you know. Sometimes, that's good advice for Christian.
Yes, Tick Pick. Full amount.
You want the full amount before you get yourself involved in something you don't know what you're doing with.
Love you guys. Right. We'll be back.
Cut it.
But we can never put on the same shoes. I've been giving L's like I know love and I can't lose. For myself, man, I can't lose. For my family, man, I can't lose. I grind hard and I can't lose. I'm stacking days, man, I can't lose.